Welcome to Funnel Hacker Radio Podcast, where we go behind the scenes and uncover the tactics and strategies top entrepreneurs are using to make more sales, dominate their markets, and how you can get those same results. Here is your host, Dave Woodward.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Funnel Hacker Radio. I'm your host, Dave Woodward. Today, you guys are going to love the topic I have. The opportunity of bringing on a guest, Kevin David. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dave. It's so good to be here.
I am so excited to have you. This is Kevin's a guy I met just recently, but he's absolutely been crushing it. He is one of our 2 Comma Club winners, probably one of our top 5 fastest to get to the 2 Comma Club status, less than 90 days. So I'm super excited to hear kind of about what you did for that. But the other thing I think is just fascinating is you've really kind of doubled down on YouTube, which is somewhat ironic only because you started off on Facebook as an employee, basically, and then also spent a lot of time on Amazon. You built Facebook groups, but I really want to spend some time helping people understand how to use YouTube as a traffic source, because it's been one of the things that most people have struggled with as far as how do you actually drive things and make things work off of YouTube. So with that, any other thing you want to add to your introduction there, Kevin?
Yeah, so I don't want to bore people. I kind of came up out of college. I worked at PwC, which is an accounting firm. I moved over to Facebook, and then I basically just decided I wasn't going to work for anyone else. It wasn't my passion. My passion was always kind of my own little projects. I never really kind of felt comfortable in like the 9-to-5 role. So I kind of branched out, started Amazon FBA, and then people were kind of starting to react to some of the ways that I was, ranking my products and finding new products and things like that. And so a lot of people were kind of asking me, like, do you have a course? Do you want to make a course? And so I made one. And, the rest is kind of history. We now have, over 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, super active, super passionate. We have a Facebook group that has 35,000 active, Amazon FBA members. And we've kind of been growing all of them in unison. And I think YouTube really, for me, is what changed my life the fastest. It's kind of awkward for people out there, right? Like creating like a video of yourself is just kind of strange, like seeing yourself talk and, everyone out there is kind of staring at you. And, it feels very uncomfortable at first, but like I would say to anyone out there who, has content to create or has like a message or something to say or a motivational story or whatever it is, right? Russell talks about this all the time. Just start a recording of yourself, right? Gary was talking about it at the event last week, right? Just, without cataloging what you're doing, no one is ever going to possibly be able to react because nobody sees you. And so, I made like a very basic YouTube video, just like in one of, my houses in Denver, Colorado. And it was very basic. I didn't have good lighting. I was using my laptop camera. And, that video now has, almost 400,000 views. And it, more than anything else, changed kind of what I was doing with my life, the direction I wanted to take, right? Because for me personally, it took me a long time to kind of figure out what I was passionate about. Like I was doing a lot of different things, like whether it was Amazon FBA, I was more passionate about just working for myself than I was about selling products on Amazon. But my true passion in life took me 28 years to find. I just turned 28 last month. And my true passion is helping people. It's, teaching and helping people kind of be free from that corporate 9-to-5 grind that people, some people love their jobs, and those people, I have all the respect in the world, but, too often people are kind of trapped and they feel, like there's nothing else they can do. They don't know what they want to do. Right. And so my kind of mission and goal in life, and my goal with my YouTube channel and everything that I'm doing and working so hard for now, is to kind of help every single person out there who feels trapped in a job they don't like to create the life that they do want.
Kevin, that's one of the things I absolutely love as I'm sitting here watching your YouTube channel and stuff. And I guess, so for those of you guys, if you want to check out his YouTube channel, it's That Lifestyle Ninja. So go to YouTube and check out That Lifestyle Ninja. The cool thing really is you're all about lifestyle. And I'm sure some of these people who are listening here who are in their 30s and 40s or even 50s are going, man, it took you all the way to the age of 28 to figure it out. And a lot of them are still trying to figure it out where they're at. So congratulations on figuring out early.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the part that's really fun for me is to see the passion that you have. Just even in watching your videos and the excitement, the enthusiasm, and really you're passionate to help other people, and it comes across so well on video. And I think that a lot of times people, they forget how important the character really is who's on the other side of that camera, and you connect so well with them. I think it's really cool to see your video. So again, check out his YouTube channel, That Lifestyle Ninja. And I love just kind of watching these videos, even if you and I have been talking here, and it's fascinating for me just to see just how passionate you are about what you're talking about, and really about that whole idea as far as the lifestyle. And I think for a lot of people, they forget how important the real reason why they're doing it is. And most of the time, it really is trying to get that lifestyle, whatever that lifestyle may be for them. So congratulations on all your success.
Hey, well, thank you. I mean, it took me a long time to figure out, what I wanted, right? Whether it was money or, whether it was freedom. It's kind of a strange thing when you get to a place like that, right? Like when you kind of all of a sudden now, like I have all the freedom in the world. So like, what do I want now? Right. So now kind of my passion has become, helping other people get to that same place. And for me, I just kind of knew from an early age what I wanted to do was travel the world. Like I wanted to see everything. I didn't really, I never have really felt comfortable just living in one place for too long. And so for about 6 months a year, I like to just travel around the world. So I'm actually taking off again and doing Australia and New Zealand and Fiji, because I've never actually been to that area of the world, starting on November 1st. And so it's going to be interesting to kind of try to keep up with all of the YouTube stuff and everything that I've kind of been doing from the USA while kind of full-time traveling. This will be my first time doing it, because before I was, when I was traveling through Asia and South America and stuff, it's much easier to kind of keep an Amazon FBA business running, but we'll see how that goes with YouTube and Facebook now that some of it is a little bit more intense.
Well, I think it's pretty cool as I take a look at even your copy is great, even on your headlines and things, how to find products that sell on Amazon that earn you $10,000 per month with no guesswork. The one Amazon FBA hack that changed everything. How a single trick found me 10x month products. Is FBA still profitable or is it a dead business? Video explanation. How 3 keyword hacks, get me ranked for all my long tail key phrases. So great titles to really lure people in. And again, just even the views, you're getting, 50,000 plus views on these things that are just a few months old. So congratulations on how you're doing that.
Absolutely, man. And the funny thing is, like, I've learned probably, so I watch a lot of people, but I guess let me rephrase that. I watch a few people a lot. And so like once I really, kind of vibe with someone and, understand, and I personally feel that they really truly know what they're talking about, then like I'll go back into the catalogs and the archives and I'll watch every single thing that person has ever released. And that's what I did with Russell. And so, I don't feel like I, am a natural on camera or anything like that at all. Like I feel like I had to work for it. And I feel like I had to channel, the attractive character complex that Russell talks about all the time, right? And Expert Secrets. And, I'm sure that book gets brought up a lot on this podcast, but if you guys haven't read it, please go out and read it because it's unbelievably important. And, I just recently made a video on ClickFunnels, and I use ClickFunnels for all of my entire ecosystem, my whole infrastructure, right? The automation and scale I could talk about probably, for much longer than Dave would want to hear. But I'm also going to create a video, kind of a summary video of Expert Secrets, because I think it's so important what Russell has figured out and just everything to do with, building a tribe, building a passionate following. And it's incredibly important. And so once I kind of decided that hey, Russell really does know what he's talking about, I kind of modeled a lot of my business after it. And it's, I've been very lucky for it to be quite successful. So I feel like I owe, Russell and your team and everyone there, it's a lot to, about my business and what I've been luckily able to achieve so far.
Well, I appreciate that. I think the key there that you mentioned, I hope everyone who was listening really caught on, and that's the principle we always refer to as far as immersion, and that is just going deep. When you find someone or you find a mentor, I love what you mentioned, Kevin, as far as just totally going deep into absolutely every single thing that they have, and that's how you really learn it all. We actually have Julie Stoyan, a dear friend of ours. She's actually going through all of Russell's podcasts and creating some content off of those. And it was funny. I was watching her Facebook post today, and she basically said, "Gosh, I feel like it should have been called Funnel Church, just because marketing your church type of deal, only because of the content that's out there." And I think as you talk about that attractive character, that's really one of the main things that's really critical for people is to understand that people truly just fall in love with who you are as a person because it resonates with who they are or who they want to become. And I think you see that a lot on your YouTube. So tell me a little bit more now as far as what are you doing on YouTube from a traffic source?
So YouTube is unbelievable, right? Like, so when I kind of first got into YouTube, it's been out for a while, it's kind of easy to say, why would I start YouTube now? It's way too late, right? Like, there's so many people, they've had such a head start that, I could never possibly compete. And, if everyone ignores everything I say for the rest of this podcast and up until now, just please listen to this one thing. It is not even close to too late to start YouTube. YouTube is unbelievably valuable for anyone's business, right? Because when you think about YouTube, YouTube is a questions search engine, right? So people go on YouTube for a purpose. They say, how do I add like a floating header in iMovie, or how do I find products to sell online, or right? So these search phrases and these key phrases that people are searching are question oriented. People go onto YouTube for a specific purpose, and so instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and come up with these brilliant ideas of what people are going to end up being searching for, you can do it in a much more methodical methodology, right? So you can just go onto Google Keyword Planner and, you can type in these phrases. You can see exactly how many times per month people are searching what key phrase. So when I was first starting on YouTube, right, I didn't know much about it. I didn't really know that it was question oriented, right? There's resources out there that I wasn't really aware of yet, like Answer the Public and things like that, where, you can literally see what phrases people are searching related to any subject. But once you kind of understand a little bit more about YouTube, you can go at it kind of from a reverse engineering perspective, right? So instead of trying to make a video and then hope people like it, you go out and you figure out what people are asking, and then you see what is actually available in the YouTube search results, right? And then if there's a kind of a hole there and you think that you could add potentially more value than what currently exists, then you literally are making a video already knowing the pre-existing demand for that topic. And then you really literally just get all this organic traffic. There's no paid, I've messed around with some paid ads, but truly YouTube above all other platforms I've found has the most organic traffic. All you have to do is a little bit of upfront research to figure out what people are searching for.
I love that. So what are some of the resources and stuff that people can use? Because right now, a lot of people are probably listening to this going, well, geez, I don't even know where to start. I've heard about Facebook ads courses and a lot of courses out there. There's not too much on YouTube. So how does a person get started on YouTube?
Yeah. So, the funny thing is you can get started very easily on YouTube with YouTube. So when I was starting, I would literally search on YouTube how to rank a YouTube video, how to build a YouTube channel, right? And so I actually a video kind of summarizing, what I do when I don't know much about a subject. I'll just kind of trap myself in a room, like a dark basement room with no windows or anything like that, and I'll literally just figure out exactly. I'll look at all the resources, right? All the blogs, all the videos, all of the different how-tos, all the tutorials, and then I'll test it. And then whatever of the, methods that I see or methods that I personally use or figured out myself, I'll kind of create like an aggregation of all of those different tips and tricks. And, from those tips and tricks, that's how I kind of generate my content on YouTube, for a subject that I'm not already intimately familiar with. So I released a video recently, kind of on the aggregate of all of the different tips and tricks that I've found have worked for me personally to rank a YouTube channel, right? To create a YouTube following. There's just certain things that are, wouldn't be necessarily obvious, like up front, like creating end screens or, using a watermark for, your logo in the bottom right where people can subscribe at any point through your video, or creating an eloquently designed intro using, After Effects that you can get for $5 on Fiverr. There's just a lot of things that you wouldn't necessarily think about up front. But instead of trying to memorize all that, right, just go on YouTube and search how to make a successful YouTube channel, how to rank a YouTube video, right? And because there's a lot of resources out there for people. So, getting overwhelmed and not knowing where to start, really all you have to do is go to YouTube and search exactly what you want to learn, right? It's a question-oriented database again. And so, if you don't know how to do something, just YouTube it.
I love it. So what right now, as you take a look, obviously I know you mentioned you're utilizing ClickFunnels as far as, your affiliate platform, all that kind of stuff. But I'm really focused right now as far as on YouTube. What types of things obviously right now you've been in the Amazon space for a long time, and I take some of your titles and everything else, and they are just like you mentioned, they literally are answers to the questions that people are going to be typing in there. So where are some of the resources people can find out what are the questions that they should be answering?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so the answer to that is there's a couple of resources. The two main resources that I personally use are a website called Answer the Public. And so Answer the Public is basically it reverse engineers what questions people would be asking. And so I recommend that people go to answerthepublic.com, right? And I don't own this website. I'm not affiliated with it in any way. It's just an interesting kind of resource that people can use and just play around with it, right? Because it'll show you, based on whatever input you put, what people are asking about related to that subject. So you could put Amazon FBA and it'll show you, right, like a data web of all of the different questions that people are asking related to whatever subject that you input. And so that's kind of one of the ways, right? The second way and the most accurate way to do it, it takes a little bit more effort, but it's definitely worth it, is Google Keyword Planner. And so Google Keyword Planner is free, right? You do have to sign up for an AdWords account, which is, not that much of it's not a big deal at all, but it's free. And basically what it does is it shows you the exact volume of, searches that people are doing. So like, for example, when I was making one of my videos, I would go to Google Keyword Planner and I would type in Amazon FBA product research, and it would come back and it would show me, Amazon FBA product research, that exact key phrase. People are searching that, right, 40,000 times a month on Google. And if somebody's searching it 40,000 times a month on Google, right, you can kind of make the assumption that that's going to be similar volume on YouTube. And so kind of with those two resources, you can really, get not only have, a much more detailed understanding of demand for any specific keyword, but you can also get ideas about, what to input for your tags on YouTube, right? And for those of you who don't know, tags are kind of, what you're telling YouTube your story and your video is about. And so when people start to search for those phrases, right, then maybe it's a how to do Amazon research instead of Amazon FBA product research, right? And so if you have that exact tag, if somebody types in that phrase, they see your video, they click yours, like instead of other people's, you start to rank for all of these different long tail keywords. And when you're ranking for all of these different keywords, you start to get a lot more organic traffic. So like any other business, right? It's all about how many eyes you can be put in front of, right? And if you have relevant content, people are going to watch it. And the more people who watch it, the more people who watch it all the way through, right? Because those of you who are out there that are YouTube nerds know that, watch time retention is the most important stat, right? So if somebody sits down and watches 100% of your video all in a row, YouTube is going to say, okay, wow, that YouTube video is incredibly relevant for the phrase that this person input to find it. We're going to continue to rank it higher and higher because the watch time is much higher than somebody who might click it, decide, it's not relevant, and then maybe go to a different video to try to find the answer to their question.
I love that. I know that's we actually brought in quite a few guys on YouTube a while back to try to help us learn a lot of these strategies as well. And again, I love some of the stuff you're talking about as far as answerthepublic.com, Google Keyword Planner, huge resources for us. I know vidIQ is one of the other ones we were taking a look at. And I think the key here, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah. So I also use a plugin called TubeBuddy. And so they have a couple out there, but I got introduced to this plugin by Daryl Eves, who actually got to meet in person at the ClickFunnels event, which is really fun. And so it's very important as you start to kind of scale and figure out like the little idiosyncrasies of YouTube, because it tells you what your rank is for your specific tags. Like it might say, hey, you have 30 tags. For this tag, you're ranked first in the search results. For this tag, you're ranked fifth. And, I actually have a team of search engine optimization people who are specific to YouTube, who literally just work all day, all week to build links for the, important keywords, because as you start to rank in Google, you also start to rank in YouTube, right? And so again, the more you're ranking for these high volume phrases, like selling products online is a, 50,000 to 100,000 a month phrase. And so I'm working very hard to have my, SEO team rank my specific product, my specific video for that phrase. Because as soon as you get somebody into your ecosystem, right, because they start to watch one video and they're like, oh, okay, this guy kind of knows what he's talking about. He's, not the most boring person in the world. Maybe I want to watch some of his other videos. And so once you can kind of get somebody into the ecosystem, it's incredibly important, right? Because acquiring a customer is much harder initially than it is to kind of retain a customer or, get a repeat customer. And, not everyone has the luxury of getting free customers like like ClickFunnels does. And so some of us have to work a little bit harder.
Yeah, we still have to work pretty hard for ours too. I wish they were all free.
That would be nice.
It would be really nice. I love just the ideas as far as some of the stuff you're saying. Any other tools or resources you'd recommend? I think probably obviously the best one is YouTube itself, which I think is super cool. What any ideas or tips you can give people with regards to their correct phrase for the title and subjects?
Yeah. So, I mean, you want your title to be, when you're organizing your description, right? Your description has to have your main keywords. Like, you don't want to stuff it, because Google and YouTube are incredibly smart. You don't want to just write like how to find products over and over again in your description or anything like that. But, you want to have them mentioned in your description. You want to have them in the tags. You want to kind of target a main 1 to 3 different phrases with your highest volume, most related to what you're creating your video about. And you want that to be, first in your title. It's kind of boring, but SEO is very important, right? YouTube at first, before they can calculate click-through rates and watch time retention, all they know about your video is what you tell them, right? And so you have to be very methodical in presenting Google and YouTube, the data that you want them to see and that you want them to rank you for before they have kind of their other data and analytics to process, which is more a determinant of how they're actually ranking you. So, those are the main two kind of resources that I do use, with TubeBuddy, I guess, being a third. But I do want to kind of just quickly emphasize the importance of a few things in the description. So I like to kind of go about things in a very methodical way. So two kind of seemingly not that, important, but in my experience have been extremely important things that you should be doing. First of all, in your description, right, you want your first sentence to be kind of a lead magnet. So you want to kind of spark curiosity. You want to kind of adhere to the human, just genome for being curious, and they want to figure something out. Be like, the one hack that, changed everything for me in this way, right? And, some people might say, yeah, that's clickbait, but if your video is really adding value, it's not like you're lying to anyone. You just want to make somebody interested, because as soon as somebody clicks in, you could think of it like you're doing them a favor, because you're helping them with the content that you're creating, right? So kind of adhere to that curiosity in your first kind of sentence in your description. It also shows as the meta description in the YouTube search results, right? So they see that little snippet, which is your first sentence. It also shows as the metadata, the meta description in Google results. And so, it's important from that perspective as well. And then the second thing I would say quickly is, give people kind of like a step-by-step. So like in my videos, I like to do step 1, join our Facebook group, right? Step 2, download our cheat sheet. And so now all of a sudden, if you get somebody to join your Facebook group and download a cheat sheet, right, you have them on 3 fronts, which means you have them as a subscriber or at least a viewer on YouTube. You have them as part of a as part of a Facebook group. And if they download the cheat sheet, all of a sudden you have their email as well. And so if you have somebody kind of on 3 fronts of interest, then communicating what you're trying to communicate to people becomes incredibly easier, rather than just having them on, having them being a part of your community on just one platform.
I have to re-echo exactly what you said. And that is one of the main things we're trying to do right now. And that is make sure we have people's attention everywhere. And I really want to make sure that we get their attention on YouTube. We get their attention for us on Facebook and email, and also on Instagram. And those are really the 4, and we're starting to add texting in as a 5th. I mean, those are the primary things we think. If we can literally be everywhere these people go and all they see is us, man, it just makes a huge, huge difference. We're blowing up a ton of ads right now on YouTube. And I was talking with a person earlier today about it. And they're like, gosh, every single time I go onto YouTube, all I see is Russell's face. And he was home, last night, and downstairs he heard Russell's voice, and it was his wife on YouTube, and all these ads were popping up, because we're spending a ton of money right now on YouTube ads, just primarily because of exactly what you're saying, and that is the more we can get in front of people in as many different places as possible, the greater our reach is for them, and the more of an authority figure you become, because they literally see you everywhere.
Yeah, and one important thing that I think would be just interesting to note is that, some people out there might be thinking, maybe it's annoying seeing somebody over and over and over again like that. But right, if you're adding value to people, then it's not like you're, overstepping your bounds and kind of seeing people on all of these different fronts, right? It's really just reminding people, because people are busy. People have their own lives, right? They have children that they're taking care of. They have, dogs, they have, homework. Everyone has all of these things going on, and they forget it. So, it's not like us or any company is trying to, be annoying and just, show, Russell or my or anyone's face over and over again on all of these different platforms. It's literally just that, hey, this is a reminder that this is literally the opportunity that you could be taking advantage of. We literally just don't want you to forget, because we understand that people are busy. So that's kind of the mentality that I take, kind of with that in mind.
Kevin, I think that's fantastic. I think it's something, as a marketer, you have to believe in what you do. And if you don't believe enough in what you do to literally shout it from the rooftops, then you probably need to go find something else. But I think it's
absolutely,
again, that providing value is, as long as you're providing massive value, I hope everybody hears about ClickFunnels.
Absolutely. I do too.
I try to let everybody know, because I believe so strongly in what we're doing. And I think it's real critical for people that you should feel the same about your product or your service or whatever it is that you're offering, that it is the most important thing that person needs in their life to solve whatever that answer or that question might be. So again, totally
right. And it's super important to note there, because if you don't believe in your product, then how could you ever possibly expect anyone else to?
Yeah. No, oh yeah. Geez, you and I could go on and on just about that one topic for sure.
Absolutely.
But as we kind of get close to wrapping things up here, anything else that, Kevin, you want to make sure people understand and know?
Yeah, so I just want to quickly talk about ClickFunnels. So I think that some things that, so I have a number of students now in FBA, right, in some masterminds and inner circles and things like that. Some of the things that I hear are, ClickFunnels might be a little bit more expensive than some of the other options out there, but I just want to give my perspective on this really quickly. And, Dave, it's not like Dave asked me to say this or anything like that, but so ClickFunnels is such a unique product, because, it allows you to kind of centralize and simplify your life. So maybe I could save a few dollars if I went out and got my own autoresponder and I signed up for ClickBank or some other affiliate program or whatever it was. And then I use, WordPress, but I would have to, I'd have 10 different logins. I'd have all of these different learning curves on all of these different software packages, right? It would always be very decentralized. Everything would have to work in unison, right? And so ClickFunnels literally has given me the opportunity to scale my business in a way that I would never, ever have imagined possible until I started using it, right? So I'm basically a one-man show. I have virtual assistants, right? And I have things like that, but I don't have any employees or anything like that. And without ClickFunnels, without kind of the centralized place where I could do everything I needed to do, right? My autoresponder, all of my action funnels, my entire affiliate program, right? All of my different sales pages, order pages, my membership site, it's all literally in one login, in one place. There's one learning curve. And now that I've kind of figured it out and dedicated my time, right? And I strongly believe in the ClickFunnels team. Now that I've done that, it's just the opportunity and the time I save is above and beyond so much more valuable than, maybe if I tried to find, a cheaper option by combining all of these different services. So I just wanted anybody out there who may not have taken the plunge just because it might be a tiny bit more expensive than some other options, right? Do it. Just take it from me. Do it, right? You can do it. Anyone can. Just commit to ClickFunnels. It is the best. Trust me. I always try to save money at every different turn. And ClickFunnels just offers a service that is truly unique to the, online marketplace.
Well, thank you so much for that endorsement. I appreciate that. It's very kind. And obviously, I totally feel the same, but thank you so much. So, Kevin, again, I want to make sure, obviously, guys, if you haven't, go ahead and take a look at ClickFunnels.com. Also, make sure you check Kevin out on YouTube at That Lifestyle Ninja. You can follow him there, subscribe to his channel, kind of see the stuff he's doing. Most importantly, I would hope that as you guys are listening to this, that you actually are taking notes and that you're implementing the tips and tricks that Kevin just shared with you as far as really how to get free traffic for any source that you're going. And I think the part that from us as a company, one of the main things that we're really loving about YouTube is really the lifetime of it. And what I mean by that is, you can put something on Facebook and it can disappear really, really fast. I mean, if a person goes through their feed and it's gone, I know as I've tried to even look for other things to try to go back and find ads or stuff, it's really hard to find inside of Facebook. The great thing about YouTube is it just continues to grow and to grow and to grow. And so whatever you're doing currently right now in your business, I would highly recommend that you spend some of your time and some of your effort on YouTube, that you're creating videos that are answering people's questions. And as you do that, you'll find that your views and everything else, they just get over time, they just grow, they grow, they grow, they grow. And I think it's really one of the most important parts to it is just having that whole long legacy on YouTube. It will always be with you and be something that I highly recommend you spend a whole bunch of time and effort really building for you and your brand, whatever that brand might be.
Yeah, and I just really quickly, I know we're ending here, but that is an incredibly important point. And so, I think a lot of people out there might have a little bit, maybe too short-sighted of a mentality about YouTube, right? Like if I wanted to, I could sit down right now and I could record a video and put it out, right? But I kind of spend, a day or two creating a video that might have a little bit more value, might be a little bit more, succinctly put together. I spend a lot of time on my descriptions, right? Because once you create a YouTube video and you publish it, it literally like no other kind of area that I've found, it builds equity and value, like almost like an investment, right? So because people just continue to watch it more and more and more. And, you never kind of know which video is going to take off. So similarly to, the saying, you're only one funnel away, right? Which I've been lucky enough to prove myself. It's the same exact thing with YouTube. Like you never know which video is going to take off and which video is all of a sudden going to have 500,000 views and completely change your life, right? And so just putting yourself out there now, doing it today, right? Starting today, going out there, researching what you're going to do, and then just force yourself tomorrow, right? Because it's very easy to put these things off. But once you kind of create it, it literally just grows and builds value like an investment.
I love it. Well, with that, again, guys, just do everything he just said. And I wish you guys all the best in all that you're doing. And again, as Kevin mentioned, realize you guys are you're just one funnel away. And I can't wait to see hopefully everybody at our Funnel Hacking Live event next year. But in the meantime, I know, Kevin, you'll be on stage. It's always fun having our 2 Comma Club members there. So it'll be fun to be presenting you an award as far as a new 2 Comma Club member. So congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks for listening to Funnel Hacker Radio Podcast. If you'd like to be notified anytime we release a new episode, just subscribe over at funnelhackerradio.com. In addition to that, we'd love to send you a free gift. You can find that free gift at funnelhackerradio.com/free trial. One last thing is we love giving away cars. So if you'd like access to a free dream car, all you have to do is go to funnelhackerradio.com/dream car and you'll get all the details. Thanks again for listening.